It's a lot
I have
of
some
fun.
friends there right now. Maybe I'll go next year.
We'll have to get you out there next year.
Oh my God, that would be the dream. Go to Vegas, just party on.
Right, exactly. All right, here we go.
Do we need these cans or no?
What's that?
Do we need these?
You won't.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really loud.
Yelling.
At least I'm honest. All right, let's see here. Check 1, 2. Ooh, that's me. See, I'm loud too. Welcome into the Ranch Sitdown today. Our special guest, Miss Delaney Ramsdell. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's really good to see you. We've been
Ditto.
playing your new song, Withdrawal.
Yes.
You sent you tagged me in a video, like I guess maybe the first time you heard that on radio.
Yes,
What
it
is
was.
that feeling like?
I'd been waiting. I didn't know when it was going to be in the rotation, and I'd been waiting and listening for a couple hours, and I was so excited, just like beyond thrilled to be added to y'all's list, and it was just awesome. I was super
You
happy.
can see the big smile on your
Yes.
face. Like that's
I had just released the record the day before.
Yes.
And so it was all kind of happening quickly, and so I was super excited.
has
Very
to be exciting and nerve-wracking as an artist when you go through all this
Oh, yeah.
work and just stress of coming up with songs and an album, and then
Yeah.
you send it out to the world, and it's like, please like this.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
It's like, here's my whole heart and soul, just like
Just
out
out
ready.
here on paper.
Yeah. Hope you like it.
Right? Oh my gosh. So you grew up in a town, Roosevelt, Texas.
Roosevelt, Texas.
Out west Texas.
Yes.
18 population. Now, I
Yes.
had Slade Coulter in here the other day, who's from Wink,
Wink,
which
yes.
is like 531. They
Yes.
just had a boom because of the oil out there. They're like at 531.
Yes.
His graduating class was 9 people,
That's crazy.
all in one building, which I'm assuming. So Roosevelt, do they have their own school,
Roosevelt
or do you
doesn't
have
have
to?
a school.
You have to
so
go somewhere.
Me and my sister went to Sonora to go
Okay,
to school.
okay.
But Junction was technically closer, so we could have gone to Junction. But like Junction's like 30 miles from the ranch, and then Sonora is like 45 or so.
So you grew up on a ranch.
Mhm.
That's the next question.
That's the next question. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you doing out there in Roosevelt on this ranch?
Well, there's not much going on out there. It's not very exciting.
Really?
Yeah, it's
You
just-
would think.
It's a happening scene out there. No. So yes, my parents still live out there, and then my grandparents had a property right across the river from us, and they ran cattle on that. And then there was another property out kind of towards Junction, actually, that my uncle runs now, and he was running, sheep and cows on that for a long time. And so, but yeah, that was a
So-
ranch life.
Is it mostly livestock ranches, cotton out there?
There's no crops really, mostly
Really?
livestock. Yeah, there's not enough water to be
So
honest.
what brings your family there? Have you ever heard that story? Why do they said, here's the middle of
I'm
nowhere,
trying
let's
to
stop
remember
here?
exactly why. I mean, it's my mom's side of the family that lived there for so
Uh-huh.
long. And my dad's from Wisconsin, but my mom's family, she's German, and so it wasn't terribly long ago, if I remember correctly, that they just, I don't know how they ended up out there, but yeah, kind of in like west central Texas, and have been there for like 5 generations maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the weirdest part of that whole story was your mom is German from West Texas. Your dad's from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Like, how does that happen?
I know. So weird.
I don't even know if
I
that's
know,
possible.
I know. So they met in Corpus Christi. My mom was working there.
This is getting
I
weirder.
know. It just gets continually weirder and weirder. They met in Corpus.
Next on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, literally, it's like a little love
knows
story.
no boundaries.
Love on the Coast,
Yeah,
starring
yeah.
Greta and Paul Ramsdell.
Yeah.
And so they met in Corpus when my dad was working out there. My mom was too. And my grandparents were ranching in Roosevelt.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was working out of a company in Houston, so he was traveling a lot. So mom wanted to be closer to her family, so they bought a house on the river, and that's where it all happened.
That
So,
is so
yeah,
cool. That's
yeah.
a neat little story.
Yeah,
I
it was
bet they
awesome.
love telling that story.
They do, yeah. And it was so awesome having my family be so close. Like, we're all really tight knit. So
Well, yeah, I bet.
Nobody else to hang
What
out
else
with,
is there
so-
to do? You have to be tight knit just to survive.
no friends, just
Like,
family. Yeah.
Roosevelt, I've never been, obviously. Restaurants?
There is a restaurant. Okay, so
So
Roosevelt's
is
like,
it just a big family restaurant that everybody goes to on Sunday?
yeah, pretty much. So there is a feed store. Let me give you the rundown.
What is
Feed store,
up?
general store, like post office and restaurant and gas, and it's all in like one building. You really
That's
can't get there
awesome.
unless you're really looking for it, or you're lost on I-10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
If
it's
you, like-
I-10.
Yeah, it's like right
Which
off
just
I-10.
goes forever, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're running out of gas and you're like, oh crap, I can't make it to Sonora, then you stop in Roosevelt to get gas. but that's pretty much it. So
That is, yeah, that's got to be
but the food's good out there, at least. So
got to be a strange way to grow up.
when I moved to Nashville, I'd never been around that many people in my
Oh,
life.
I bet that was
Oh my God.
freaky.
Culture shock as culture shock could get. I'd literally never been around that many humans in my life. It was so weird. I was like, there's a Starbucks 5
And-
minutes up the road.
And a Starbucks across the street from that? What's
Right,
happening?
I was like,
Yeah.
I can go get groceries and not have to drive an hour? What the
Right.
heck? Like, this is
Oh,
crazy.
but that was quite like, all right, today we're going grocery shopping.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, if we're at the ranch and we want to go to get groceries, we either go to San Angelo or Kerrville. They're like kind of equidistant
Mhm.
apart. I mean, but Kerrville's still an hour and a half plus.
wow.
Yeah, and
But they have
Angelo's.
that great HEB out
They
there in
do have a good
Kerrville.
HEB
I
there.
love that HEB.
And Angelo's a full 2 hours from the ranch, pretty
Holy
much.
cow.
Yeah.
I grew up in Dublin, Texas, tiny
Oh
little
yeah,
town.
I've been to
so,
Dublin.
So like, I thought I was in the middle of nowhere.
No, Dublin is.
Jeez, that's like a metropolis. There's like 2,000 people
I
there.
I know. But Sonora, Sonora has like 2,000
Yeah,
people there.
Sonora's
so
much
it's-
bigger,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely bigger. So.
So obviously, there's no college in Roosevelt for you to go to,
Mm-mm.
and so you ended up going to Belmont, which you
I
said.
did.
And so obviously, to me, music has always been an aspiration for you.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. I started singing, the first time I ever sang, I was 5 years old, like in a Christmas play or
Mhm.
something. But I've been performing and writing music with a band, playing guitar since I was about 10. So I've been doing it for a long time.
Holy cow!
At the Sutton County days in Sonora, was where I had my debut performance.
What's up? Was there a lot of sequins and fringe in that outfit?
I was wearing red skinny jeans.
Oh well, of course,
Duh,
yeah.
and a blue shirt, and like this, in in 2012, the chunky necklaces were in.
Oh
I
yeah.
was wearing a chunky necklace, and yeah, it was a pretty iconic fit. I'll see if I can find a video, post on my
The
Instagram.
thing is that's coming back.
It's frightening. It's
Yeah,
terrifying.
it's
If I
like-
see one more like chunky, I'm getting out. We gotta go.
We did that already.
I've been there. I've suffered, and so yeah, so I've been doing music for a long time. Started writing and playing guitar when I was like 10, 11.
Okay.
Really started kind of getting into it as I got older, and was in music, trying to play wherever I could and writing, and then found out about Belmont through, I think my dad had read about it or something, and just applied for their songwriting program. Didn't get
Mhm.
in the first time, and I was like, screw this, I'm done.
Right.
I'm not doing this again. My parents are like,
You don't take rejection well. It sounds
I
like.
didn't at the time, and
Right.
now I get told no left, right, and center, and I'm like, cool.
If you're going to be in music,
See you in 2 weeks. I'll be
Right.
right back again
Right.
to ask you the same thing. At 17, I didn't take rejection well, I
Right.
guess. And so
well, you grew up in Roosevelt, so if you asked somebody to date, they were going to say yes because
Right.
there's not many
the,
options.
the
There's
options
there's
are
no rejection.
very slim. Yeah, because the dating pool is very small. And so I reapplied, went to Belmont in 2018, graduated in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
got out a little bit early just because I was like tired of going to school online during COVID.
Right.
And have just been writing there ever since. Been writing in Nashville and have loved it. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for like 13 years, I guess, now that I think about it. So I'm 23 now, so.
There's such a negative talk about Nashville, quote unquote Nashville, in the Texas music scene.
Right.
And it's funny how many Texas artists live in Nashville, work in Nashville, or managed in Nashville.
Yes.
It just happens to be the place where everybody is that's involved in this music scene.
Totally.
It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
It just happens to, yeah, there's crap that comes out of there. There's some
There's-
great stuff that comes out of there,
Totally.
too.
Yeah, no.
Delaney Ramsdell's there.
What up?
That
yeah.
withdrawal song, holy cow,
Oh,
it's such a cool
I'm
tune.
so glad you like it.
It
That's
is
one of my
so,
favorites off
it's
the
so
record.
different. Like, your voice is just so unique. And
Oh,
like,
thanks.
and that's what we're always looking for is something different, something
Right.
unique. You don't sound like
Right.
anybody else. And that's the hardest thing is to find your voice.
Totally.
How long was it until you figured out what your voice was?
God, a long time. Probably, I mean, I don't think I really came around to it. Probably until I started making a little bit before I started making that record in 2022. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so the tail end of 2021 into early 2022 is when I finally figured out, like, okay, I had kind of tried on every musical genre that you could, as a writer at least, I'd tried them all on, and they did not work for me. And I
Mhm.
was like, I grew up listening to like country music. I grew up listening to Americana music and
Mhm.
all that, and I think I just need to do that. And so it took me a while to kind of come around to what I really wanted to do, and I think being from Texas has a lot to do with that. I mean, I
Right.
think it has shaped
Right.
me considerably. I mean, the Texas music scene and what people do and stand for is very influential on me, and
Mhm.
I carry that with me. If any of my writing partners know that, like, being from Texas is like one of my 3 personality traits. I mean, And
Are you? Hi, I'm Delaney. I'm from Texas.
I don't even. Yeah, it comes out eventually. Yeah, very quickly. But I feel like, yeah, people talk crap about Nashville for good reason. I mean, there's some stuff that comes out of there that I'm like, oh my good Lord Jesus, who cleared that? But
let's be honest, there's bad stuff that comes out of everywhere.
Exactly. And it's just part of it.
It just happens.
And it's like, if you're doing good work, it doesn't matter where you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it in Nashville, then it is what it is. If you're doing good work, it doesn't matter where you are. I love the Texas music scene. I love the Nashville writing scene. I feel like I have the best of both worlds in that way sometimes. And but yeah, I think I don't have big beef with Nashville all the time.
You have the opportunity to be who you want to be, but also the opportunity to get in front of some people by doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
The right people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
And
you get a better chance at getting that big break.
Yeah, and good people too.
Right, yeah.
I working with people who are good and genuine. I mean, they do exist in Nashville. Contrary to popular belief. There are good people that live and work there, and I've been really fortunate to work with wonderful, wonderful people in the industry. And so
the thing is, we always hear the horror stories. Like, nobody ever really shares the good stories.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, like, all you hear is negative.
Right.
That's what you're going to think. But
totally.
yeah,
Absolutely.
there's so much good that comes out of there.
Yeah.
So you said you grew up, I guess your parents were listening, your family listened to country music?
Yeah.
So as a kid, most of us, whatever our family listens to, we revolt and we want to listen to something else. So
Right.
were you pop, rock, rap?
I mean,
a lot of people in West Texas, I find, listen to hardcore rap. The funniest thing ever. While they're on the combines doing
what's up with
cotton,
that?
I mean, just, holy cow, that's vulgar.
No, I feel like you definitely hear that. I feel like I have friends and people that I know that, yeah, they love rap. And I love rap, actually. I listen to rap quite a bit. Just to keep it, I listen as a study.
Cleanse your palate? Is
yeah,
that what it is?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like, what else is popping off? What else do people like, And
you just said popping off, by the way. So yeah, you do listen to
rap.
I
didn't mean it like that. So whatever's popping off. No. No.
That's funny.
But I mean, I did listen to a lot of country, partially because we only had one radio station. Like, it was 92.1 KHOS.
There was only one you could pick up out there.
Yeah, there's only one, and we shared it with Ozona. Like, it was.
Oh,
I
wow.
think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 92.1 KHOS raised me. I love it.
That's the one.
And sometimes when I'm in
KHOS.
Yes.
Hoss.
KHOS. When I'm in Nashville, sometimes I listen to it online.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love it.
That's cool. You should listen to this station, but whatever.
I do listen to the Ranch. Don't
I know
even
you
get
do
me
because
started.
I saw the video.
I do listen to the Ranch. But yeah, I grew up listening to country and I never really had the rebellion stage until I was like in college, I feel like.
Oh, okay.
And I listened to everything. I mean, but I did grow up listening to a lot of country. My parents listened to a lot of like folk rock, Americana, 70s, like rock. I grew up playing a lot of that too. My guitar teacher like really kind of tried to instill that in me, like Kansas and like the Beatles and like, all these cool like 70s eclectic
bands, yeah.
And I grew up with like a lot of Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt and all these really awesome female singers. And but then I feel like I also listened to a lot of funk growing up. I listened to a lot of jazz.
Oh, really?
I listened to a lot of R&B, classic R&B. I listened to all of it, and I love all of it, and I still do. And
you hear that diversity in your music. I mean, like, even just researching you for this interview, there was like a bluegrass article about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you have some elements of so many different types of music, and that's what makes you unique. You're not trying to sound like somebody, and you're just doing whatever's in your heart and whatever you want. Yeah.
And whatever kind of, I had somebody, I was at a coffee shop the other day, somebody come up to me and they're like, I just love that you're just like doing your own thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing my own thing, because what else am I going to do?
I'm not going to do somebody else's thing.
Exactly. And I was like, I'm going to do whatever I want, because, like, who cares?
Right.
And
exactly.
So, yeah, I feel like I listen to it all. I love it all. I try to take the best pieces of all genres and kind of apply them, whether it be melodically, content-wise, or, just, like, general feel. But, yeah, I like it all.
Anybody in your family ever involved in the music industry?
Yeah, well, I'm not in the industry per se. My grandfather on my dad's side was a trumpet player.
Oh, wow,
and
cool.
played, Dixieland jazz, and was really very, very talented. My uncle also, on my dad's side, is a musician too, and but I feel like they were really great, and it was definitely a different style of than what I do now. But I was around music. My grandmother on my mom's side, she played piano and did all that stuff.
Yeah.
My aunt played piano and sings and stuff, and but nobody in the industry per se. But I feel like I had it around a lot. And both my parents, like I said, they have good taste. Like everybody in my family loved music and had good taste and loved to dance and loved to do all, all the things. And so maybe not like involved in the industry, but just loved music for what it was and really appreciated good art.
So it wasn't a giant shock when you told them music is what I want to do.
My parents, no. You couldn't have phased them. They would have been like, oh yeah, duh, hello,
yeah.
Is the Pope
Why
Catholic?
have you waited this
yeah,
long?
Like what, and they knew. I mean, I've literally been singing, I also just do it constantly, like when I'm walking or working, and like I'm whistling or singing or something, and it was no surprise that I wanted to do that.
That's
to them,
awesome.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Well, since you want to play songs so much, how about you play us one now, if you don't mind?
Sure
Yeah.
will. Yeah.
So, tell us what we're going to hear, Delaney Ramsdell.
Well, I think I'm going to play, it was my first single off of this EP that I put out. It's called Traveling Light.
Oh, I love this song.
And it's a little traveling song. I wrote it with Autumn Bicey and Mia Mantia in Nashville. It was one of the first songs that we three have written together. And it was actually, I didn't mention this, but my dad sends me songwriting ideas like every other day.
Really?
Like just like titles.
That's
He sends them to
awesome.
me all the time. So this is actually my dad's title. It's just kind of funny. And but we got together in 2019, so this is an old song, and we wrote it together. And I love it. It's one of my favorites. So it's Traveling Light.
All right.
Have you ever seen the sky in North Carolina? It'll take your breath away each time. You could walk all night, never find the end of the river rolling through Big Bend. Have you ever seen the hills in Jackson Hole, or the way they hide beneath the snow? And the daylight fades and the seasons pass, oh, the summer days, they never last. So I keep my lightning in a jar and my bags packed. Traveling light, drinking heavy, on some rambler out on my own, trying to find something steady to hold on to before I go. Have you ever felt how fast the miles go as the crosses blur going down the road? That Georgia clay slipping through your hands, you get tired of flying, just trying to land. Well, I swear there's secrets you never understand when you're traveling light, drinking heavy, on some rambler out on my own, trying to find something steady to hold on to before I go. One day he'll scatter me to the wind, and I'll find some hallowed ground to settle in. Traveling light, drinking heavy, on some rambler out on my own, trying to find something steady to hold on to before I go. Traveling light, it ain't so heavy, I just took the long way home.
Very, very nice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Delaney Ramsdell hanging out with us here on the Ranch Sitdown. You have such a cool, just a beautiful voice.
Thank
you really
thank
do.
you so much.
So Dad came up with the title
He
of
did,
that song.
he sure did, yes. He's a real one.
That's great.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
great. It's nice to see that support.
Oh my goodness, it
Yeah.
has made all the world a difference for
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
My community of support is unrivaled, and I'm just so deeply thankful and grateful for that.
Next goal for Delaney Ramsdell, what is that? Every artist has to set, you know, achievable goals and then move to the next level and the next level. What would you feel like the next goal for you would be, that next thing you'd like to see happen?
That's a great question. I feel like this year has been a lot of kind of figuring out the next lane, the next move for me, and I feel like I finally figured it out as a writer. You know, I'm primarily a songwriter first.
Right.
It all starts with the song, and I feel like that this year I've really kind of come into my stride as a writer, and so I feel like in this next year to just be continuing that process. Landing cuts is a really big goal of mine. You know, to have at least 5 to 10 cuts in the next year would be really great for me. I feel like that's a goal. Just to keep, refining my craft and getting in the right rooms. I also feel like if we're looking at like big major goals, not in the next year, but if I could play the Opry, I would just die.
That's the spot.
That's my like
you
biggest.
Stand in the circle.
That's like my biggest dream. Just to play it one time. I don't even have to go beyond that. Just to play the Opry would be like my biggest goal. But that's driven real big.
Are you talking about like being invited or just breaking in?
Just breaking in.
That's
somehow.
What I've heard.
Yeah, somehow they let me in on accident.
So, like when you're writing a song, do you ever, in your head as you're writing it, say this song would be perfect for this person?
Oh yeah, all the time.
That's the one. So who for you would be the dream to cut one of your songs?
Cody Johnson would be a great one for me.
Well, he might sell an album or two for you.
He might could.
Yeah,
he might could.
Maybe one or two.
I would love to have a cut with Cody Johnson, partially because I think he has a lot of integrity as a person.
Right, yeah.
And because he's real freaking country music.
Man, no kidding.
He's as real as they come.
You heard That's Texas off of his latest
I
album?
am
We
obsessed.
are playing the heck out of
I
that
love that song so much.
It's
I
not
love it.
technically a radio single,
Who
but
cares?
I don't care.
I don't
It's
know.
so good.
The line about like chili without beans, I'm like, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
that's
George
right.
Strait is the king.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so good.
So good. I mean, George Strait would be another one too. Yeah, that would be like, oh my God, I would just
saw
ascend.
he was just at Dickey's here in Fort Worth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. You know, he's still okay.
He's all right. Yeah,
he's gonna
okay.
make it. I think if he sticks with it, that young fella.
Yeah, he'll make it one day.
God,
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him play with Willie Nelson in Nashville. It was the first time they'd ever played together.
What a show!
For Willie's like 80th birthday. It was like in 2019 or whatever, and I think I cried.
Oh.
Just like it was so iconic. It was so awesome.
All this emotion.
Just like the awe of like seeing both of them up there together. And,
right.
Yeah, I feel like Cody Johnson would be awesome. I mean, I'm trying to think who else I've loved. Especially like I'm a big proponent for women in country music.
Right.
I mean, Lainey Wilson would be a dream.
Man,
she is
just
badass
like to sit there
lady.
And talk with her for
She's
a while.
She's just so cool.
Be like, do you mind just talking?
Can I just like listen to you talk for a second?
Say, here, read this.
Yeah. Right. She would be an awesome one. I respect her and her work ethic so much, and I feel like I'm definitely in the camp of like Lainey Wilson followers because again, she has a lot of integrity, and what she's done and the way that she's worked so hard and broke through so many things to be where she's at is really inspiring to me as a female writer. It's not the easiest place for women in country music. It's just not.
It's not.
And
I know. It's unfortunate.
It is, right. It is. And just to see that, with enough grit and tenacity, you can move mountains, and I appreciate that about her. So she would be another one that I would love to have a cut with. We've
noticed, and we've had this discussion a lot with other people, it's like the last few years especially, female writers are just by far outriding the men writers. And I hate to say that. It's not like a competition.
But it's true.
But that's really what's happening right now. And I think a lot of it is like what you're talking about. It's so tough.
Yeah.
Like you gals have gone to the next level.
Yeah, totally.
And now a lot of guys need to catch up.
I agree.
Really do.
I agree. I mean, I write with a ton of like, female writers in Nashville, and they kick ass. They just do. They're awesome.
Which makes you better because you're in that room with so many good
And it's
songwriters.
also like, they understand that it is unfortunately a man's industry, and it's like we just got to do what you can to get ahead, and it's really inspiring. I mean, obviously, I love all the men I wite with too. Everybody I write with is awesome, but
take them under your wing and teach them how. Is that what we're doing? Thank you.
Let me show you the way.
That's the clip for Instagram right there. Just that one
please,
bit.
no. Heavens.
That's how social media works, isn't
it? You better not do it.
Yeah, I would never do that to you. Always happening.
That's funny, but
Well, Delaney Ramsdell, thank you so
thank
much
you
for chatting
so much
with
for
us.
having me. Shayne.
Roosevelt, Texas.
Yes.
Everybody, what was the mascot in which school?
Sonora.
Yeah.
Sonora Broncos.
The Sonora Broncos.
Yes.
All right, go Bronx. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Best of luck. Can't wait to see where your career leads you.
Thanks, Shayne. Thanks. Yay.
Great job.
Thank
Holy
you.
cow, that was really good.
Thank you for having me. This is so fun. Thank you for responding to my rogue emails. I appreciate that a lot. Rachel Loren is a really good friend.
Yeah.
I wrote on that single that she put out.
Oh, yeah, I love that song too. That's a really good song.
So she had passed her info along to me. She's awesome.